Hi friends, those of you who are watching this video, this is the new series that we are starting. We are calling it Spouse Entrepreneurs. I'm Jatin. I'm one of the co-founder of Each Eye Ventures. So in this Spouse Entrepreneurs series, idea is to invite amazing founder couples who are building ventures together or building separate ventures to come and share their experiences and tell us that whether they are fighting or not. So with this, we'll just directly get started. So this is the recording of our first episode with Minal Desai and Abhishek Desai. They have an interesting background because both of them run their separate ventures, and with the new venture fund that Minal is starting, Abhishek is also professionally involved. So it will be very interesting to know their views about how they are building it and now they're working together. So Minal and Abhishek, thank you so much for joining for this first episode.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us, Jatin.
Thank you, Jatin. Yes.
So
Thank
we'll
you
just get started with some of the basic stuff, and then we'll get to the discussion. When did you meet for the first time, and when did you think about getting married?
I think that Abhi should answer. Please, Abhi.
When did we meet first time?
Yes.
Okay, very complicated story, but I would say we met through a common family friend for the first time. So, it was way back when probably I was just like 19, 20 years old. So, at that time, one common family friend kind of introduced us because he knew both our families. And, since then our journey has started. After a couple of years, probably, we got engaged. So I was in fifth semester of college and she was in second year, right? When we got engaged. So, અમારું પેલું થોડુંક બાળ લગ્ન જેવું જ છે. But at least we married when we were like legally, legal age pachi. So, everything is legal. Not a problem. But yeah, we got married very early. It was 2004. So, I started my first venture, Digicorp, in early 2004, January, and in December the same year, we got married.
Okay. Wow. So
how
did marriage had an influence on you directly, starting your business and not taking up any jobs anywhere? As in you had to go to Bangalore or somewhere.
It did actually, not marriage, but the relationship definitely had an impact. So, I after Nirma, so I did computer engineering from Nirma, and I got like you, right, just one batch senior. So I got selected in Patni Computers from campus placement. So I had my first job was with Patni in Mumbai. So I stayed there for about 4 months, but then I got really homesick actually. હું થોડોક પેલો ઘર કુકડી જેવો છું. So I really like being close to friends, family especially. So I came back. I started another job in Ahmedabad with a company called Systems Plus. Maybe some of you might have heard of it. It was a great company at that time. I'm not sure how they're doing right now, but a good job. The only thing was that I was not enjoying the job, and one thing led to the other, and we were given an opportunity. When I say we, myself and my friends who were there in Ahmedabad with me, we were given an opportunity to work on a project together, right? Basically build a project together. So we all started programming during the night and having day job and everything, and that's how the journey of Digicorp started. This is late 2003 I'm talking about. So after doing this for about couple of months, working day and night, we felt that this is not working and it's not sustainable, right? So we have to choose one. Either we can choose a job or we can choose business, right? So finally we all quit our day jobs and started working on this project, which we got full time, and that's how the birth of Digicorp happened, early 2004. So, and late 2004 I got married. So as I said, the marriage didn't have an influence on business, but definitely our relationship did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Meena, what's your venture story?
So I have multiple ventures and multiple stories, and I can tell stories all day. But to begin with, we were engaged when I was hardly 19, and I finished my bachelor's here, went for master's abroad. And one of the reasons, just the way Abhi chose to come back from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, one of the reasons I came back from abroad was because he was here, and we were looking forward. The romance was alive back then, so came back, and while Digicorp happened before the marriage, I think in great part it also happened because as individuals and also in terms of family background, we were more drawn towards entrepreneurship, towards having our own ventures as opposed to kind of working, having a job and all that. when I came back, I was of course looking forward to my marriage, and other than that, I joined my own family's enterprise, which was into schools. So my family was into schools, so I joined one of the schools and all that, and since then have been working with schools off and on. Have tried a lot of other things, but majorly speaking, I've been with schools and education.
So that is like mid 2000s. You were
2003-4. So I
Yeah.
completed my masters in 2003. 2004, I took a break, kind of settled into the married life and all that, and then since 2005, I've been working with schools.
so you were building your education business, and Abhishek, you were building your software consulting
Yes.
business.
Yes.
So fast
Yes.
forward 2020, what is the scene with your businesses now?
I'm on like my second venture officially, which is Crick Heroes, which is a B2C product specifically dealing into cricket. So I started Crick Heroes back in 2016, and that also spawned from my first venture, Digicorp only. So as part of Digicorp, just the way I was not happy with my job and started Digicorp, similarly, I was also not happy with services business, and always wanted to work on like our own ideas and our own IP, right? So like all the time I used to come up with ideas and like throw those ideas in front of my colleagues, three of my classmates with whom I started Digicorp. And we worked on a lot of ideas in 2007, 8, 11, even 6, right? But most of the ideas, like 10 of 10 ideas, I have even written a blog post. Probably you can also link that post along with
Yeah.
with this video, just to give some context. But like at least 10 ideas we worked on, and most of the ideas we could not make them bigger, or we failed miserably in like many of them. The reason being that we were not focused. We always treated them as side projects or side products, because Digicorp was the main cash cow, right? We were getting and we are putting the same cash on the other businesses, and obviously the new businesses will not give you return immediately, specifically if it's a product based business, right? But so when we thought of doing it again in 2016, we decided to change one thing, that at least one of us will come out of Digicorp's day-to-day operations, and whatever we do, we'll do it full time, right? And preferably we'll also raise outside funding if we get, so that we are in a way indirectly also pressurized or obligated to our investors as well, right? So that we'll not again lose the focus. And that's what happened actually. So I started working on like 3 ideas early 2016, and one of the ideas was Crick Heroes. So mid 2016, I pitched the idea in front of my friends and family, including Meenal and my 2 brothers-in-law, my couple of friends and Meenal. They all agreed to invest in this venture. So that's how I was able to raise a small amount of seed money and started Crick Heroes as a separate company. And fast forward to 2020, we are right now 31 people in Crick Heroes. It's a separate company. We have, after that, we also raised multiple rounds of funding from angel investors. And in terms of traction, we have more than like 5.5 million user base, and more than 700,000 matches have been scored on Crick Heroes
Wow.
so far.
So Meenal, what is your fast forward story from 2005 to 2020?
Lots of swirls and ups and downs and all that. But presently, if I talk about what I'm working on, so I'm working with one of the other schools, not the one that I began with. I'm working with an international school. It's an 8-year-old startup, I would say, and it is relatively pretty much settled. So while that is going on, I am now looking at Amara Ventures, the genesis of which began when I invested in Abhi's company. So while that at that point of time in 2016, it was more like, okay, you're trying something and let me just invest. Let's see what comes out of it and all that. Or मैं मेरे पैसे invest करूँगी वाला, मेरा नाम आएगा अंदर. वो वाला that BV in me came out and I'm like, I better have my name in there. So that's how it began. But since then, what has been interesting, Jatin, is that I've been following the journey of a startup, something that so as an outsider, because I've seen tech in both ways, inside and out. So as an outsider, tech suddenly seems to sprawl one fine day. It feels like achanak se this became this became that, etc., etc. It is so not true. And with with Crick Heroes, I got to see what is the journey, how does it really scale, what are the things, right from understanding the difference between, say, angel fund, angel investment to what is Series A, B, to the whole idea of dilution. I remember the first time Abhishek told me that, you've invested X amount and now because new round is coming, there will be dilution. I'm like, aisa kaise ho sakta hai? Like, I have, because I came from a relatively very traditional business mindset. So the whole idea that your stake gets diluted was extremely new for me.
Correct.
But of course, now I understand it in much better depth. And this pandemic has given us a lot of time to think about what exactly do we want to do as a family. So I work with my brothers and my family and all that. So one of the things we're working on, and formally so, is Amara Ventures, where we are investing in seed stage startups. And we've already made a good 5 to 6 investments so far in a variety of spaces and all that. And we've spent the last 6 months totally and completely immersing ourselves in this and kind of educating ourselves in what is it to be an angel investor. And that is what 2020 looks like.
Correct. So Meenal, just adding on to what you mentioned, so you invested in Abhishek's business and then you thought, okay, this is something that you can pursue
After
as
3 years.
professionally.
Yeah, after 3-4 years it dawned कि अच्छा ये तो हम ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं, सिर्फ अभिषेक के लिए नहीं करना.
So you must have evaluated other startups and you invested in other startups.
Yes,
So what was the difference of evaluation you had, evaluating Crick Heroes and evaluating other startups?
Honestly, we didn't evaluate Crick Heroes, right? Crick Heroes was family.
Yep.
So he came up with this idea, and as he mentioned, it was his 10th idea. So by then he had come up with so many ideas. Every time I'd be like, "Acha, ab kya hoga? Ye wo, all that." But Crick Heroes seemed a very sensible move in multiple ways. One is he and his friends, they play cricket very regularly. So it was a problem that they faced very regularly, and I would always see them fussing about it. Iske itne run the, uska ye tha, wo tha, blah blah blah, etc. etc. And I could see that angst about not having authentic data and all that. So the problem was experienced firsthand. I had witnessed, he had experienced, but I had witnessed it. And then when he suggested that having an app around that and kind of, making the local people heroes and all that, I was sold on the idea also because by then I'd read a couple of books which spoke about how India needs its own solutions. So trying this or that kind of doesn't make sense because the Google of the world is going to be Google of India. You can't build a Google for India, but India has its very specific problems which need to be solved. And with that framework, I thought Crick Heroes fit in very well because India is probably only one of countries which plays this level of gully cricket with this gusto, to have that. So honestly, Crick Heroes was a no-brainer. It wasn't really well thought of and all that. So Abhishek still formally he put it up and he called us all and he put up this PPT sort of a thing and he's like, "Acha ye hai wo hai," and all of us are munching and food. I'm like, "Acha theek hai, kitne paise chahiye wo bol do, like kitna khai chahiye kahi do, and theek hai tumko kar lena," because we really didn't understand anything of that sort. And for him also, while he had tried a lot of ventures, Crick Heroes was probably the only one that took off to this level. So for him also, he made a lot of trials and errors and kind of worked it out. But coming back to your question about the difference in evaluating Crick Heroes versus others, maybe can't evaluate at the same level, but because I saw what is possible in a startup and it has grown so well that I was inspired to invest in others. So now when I see a new startup, I look at it this way. I look at that small little pitch deck. I look at that simple questions and I see I'm able to
empathize more with those founders.
I recognize
more than their presentations.
Those founders, and I actually end up seeing where could this go. Recently, we invested in a company which had college dropouts, but college grads and fresh college grads and all that. And when I saw them, I couldn't help but think of Abhi and his friends when they were out of college and starting with Digicorp and all that. So maybe I just ended up investing out of emotional connection. कि हाँ मुझे पता है इसके बाद क्या होता है.
Awesome. Abhishek, Meenal explained about the potential of Crick Heroes wonderfully. And how would you explain the potential of Amara Ventures?
Good luck. Abhi's in for trouble.
No, I think just the way Meenal said. Actually, I will slightly build upon it. Again, India needs its own solutions, and when solutions are required, there will also be capital will also be required, right? like in smaller amounts, in bigger amounts, in moderate amounts, but capital will be required, right? So I think just the way there is a lot of opportunity, there are a lot of opportunities for building India specific solution. I think also there are also a lot of opportunities for building India specific funds, right? So I think if you just look at it from that macro level, I think Amara Ventures definitely has a great future. Definitely a focus is required. You cannot, there are so many things you can do. So obviously, what is the ticket size you are going to, basically you have to be very, very disciplined, right? About your ticket size, about your approach, about the kind of companies you will fund, right? About the kind of founders you will fund. So, and I think over the period of last 6 months, like they have done a pretty great job in terms of at least coming on the same wavelength between amongst themselves, right? There are three main partners. So they now know that they want to invest in the underdogs of the Indian startup landscape. Basically, people who are not very well represented. Basically, somebody who is not from IIT or somebody who is not from IIMs. Let's say this is like just one definition. Nothing against those people. I mean, like they are the brilliant ones, and if we get an opportunity, probably we'll also jump on it. But even if not, then the other should not be ignored.
Correct.
So like this, there are also like few more criteria of investment. So I think if Amara Ventures remain focused and disciplined in their approach of investing, and at the same time, it is extremely important to have a long-term view, right? Because you are not going to see anything like less than 5 years. So if you don't have a long-term view of at least 5 to 10 years, right? Then I think definitely it has a great future.
Yep. Yours is a very unique situation. You are building separate ventures, and now in 2016, both of you.
And now it might just converge over a period.
Yeah.
I am also a little confused on what questions to ask, but I'll just do fast forward and the flashback thing. So
Sure.
before you invest, Minal, before you invested in Greek Heroes, or you were running, Abhishek, you were running DigiCorp successfully, and Minal, you were running your education business, schools very successfully. So at that point in time, were you used to consult each other for each other's problems, or any specific moments you can share? Minal? The support you needed, or you would tell Abhishek how to run his software business, like any specific moments you can tell?
Okay, so I think on that front, Abhi has been the mentor and I have been the mentee. And I think every evening, I would say that I've run into small little problems. Also, not to be stereotyping, but women have a tendency to talk more, which I think will be visible from the video by the end of it. So I would always go home in the evening, aaj school mein ye hua, out blah, 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 etc. And then he in his zen, calm position would, okay. And then he'll go to our library, pick up a book, give it to me and say that, okay, how about reading this and kind of understanding it? How about trying this and looking at it? So in doing so, he has educated me to a great sense. And I think it has helped me shape the schools in a far different way than what would have happened otherwise. And coming from him, I think he would share about what our conversations look like. But one of the things that I've learned greatly from him and shared a lot of problems with him have always been people problems. So kind of, working with the workforce, etc. How do you change mindset, setting culture, etc. So unfortunately, in the field of education, there is very little literature when it comes to education management or when it comes to people management and all that. You'll find a lot about curriculum. You'll find a lot about teachers, about children, but you will find very little about people management. So in many ways, I had to import a lot of my understanding from the tech industry through Abhi into this. So yeah, that's been my experience.
Awesome. Abhishek?
Yeah. So no, definitely, like as she said, our conversations have primarily been, how to manage team and how to manage teachers and, those people specific problems. Whatever little I learned from running DigiCorp. So, like from our earlier days, we were very inspired by a few companies like 37 Signals, which is now known as Basecamp, right? Even Fog Creek, who are the creator of Trello. Like probably people might know them by that. And like, a couple of more companies. Now these companies were excellent, like, in terms of human resources or in terms of people management or in terms of the way the founders ran those companies, right? And we were really inspired with the transparency and the innovativeness with the way they ran their companies, and we tried to like copy those ideas in running DigiCorp. So from that perspective, we also made a lot of mistakes. I'm not saying, everything is like hunky dory, but we made a lot of mistakes, and, we learned from them. But at the end of the day, if somebody asks me, I'm very happy the way we have run DigiCorp. And I always try to tell, like those ideas which we have implemented in DigiCorp, I probably, like suggest not just to Meenal, but anybody, like whom I'm talking about this, I always suggest that, why not try this? Why not try this? Those ideas. And because, as she rightly said, tech industry has been kind of pioneer in making a better workplace, right? If you compare it to any other traditional industry, right? Those ideas are always unique in others' circumstances. So for example, let's say the idea of having salary, let's say there is a company called Buffer. Now they are known for transparency, right? So they have salary of their founders, co-founders, and everybody in an Excel sheet, in a Google sheet, and it is publicly posted. So anyone can go open that sheet and know that who is making how much money. Right now, it's a radical idea.
Correct.
Right? Not every company can do it. But let's say if you put this idea in any industry, it will be very, very unique for that industry. If they can do it or not, it's a separate story, right? But at least they will have something new to explore. So, our conversation have been, such new exploration. Obviously, not all ideas which I have shared have worked, right? Sometimes you also have to look at that. You are also looking at India. You're also looking at people who have worked in a traditional industry for a long, long time. So not everything works, but whatever, like little we can get out of those ideas, we should try to implement and, try to make probably a work a better, like basically better place, right? And if I have to tell you that what I have learned from Meenal, like she has been too kind by saying that, I have been the mentor and all, but it's not true. The other thing is that whatever English I can speak right now, for example, starting from that, whatever English I can write, or, I think these two major things, I can, completely, it's because of Meenal only. I would say, otherwise I would have never been pushed to improve my speaking skills or writing skills, or, for that matter, interacting with people or public speaking, everything. So, and I would give a lot of credit to Meenal for those things.
Yep.
Yeah. To sum up,
Yes.
Jatin, I think he's the science grad, I'm the arts grad. So kind
Perfect
of,
combination.
match up.
Complementary skill sets.
Complementary skill sets mein chali jayega.
Yes.
And like this is the question which is central premise of this conversation, and you must have been asked about work-life balance. So you talk about business and you have a family and you have more relatives. So probably individually when you speak, you will be in the same zone. But when you are talking about business and there are families, so how do you manage, or what is your thought on work-life balance? Meenal?
Work is life. So honestly, we've never faced such problems in terms of work-life balance. I used to feel a little stressed out when both my kids were young. So we have two kids and both are only 2 years apart. So till the time they grew to be 4 or 5, life looked a little stressful. That is because of the kids and their age was different and all that. But thankfully we used to live with my in-laws and Abhi's parents and all that. So kind of was taken care of. So I was also on almost a sabbatical apart thing. That worked out. That said, since 2015-16 that we've moved out and we've been living with ourselves by ourselves, honestly, it hasn't been as much of a problem. On the contrary, I think our kids now got so used to it that in case we are home for a longer point of time, or if we don't go, they come up and ask us, "Ke aapko kahin jana nahi hai, koi kaam nahi hai, like why are you guys here," etc. So that has been one case. Secondly, work-life balance is not a problem if you know what is it that's important. So if you try to attend each and every social party, if you try to go to every new place that comes up in exhibitions and kind of meaningless stuff that you end up at, then I think work-life balance becomes a problem. In our case, we've sorted it out to a great extent by default, that unless it is absolutely necessary, our family also doesn't invite us now. Ab to humne samne wale ko itna train kar diya hai कि we don't even get half the invitation. We're like, अच्छा ठीक है, we've been left out all, but has worked for us. And yeah, other than that, he's an extremely helpful spouse in terms of everything. So there aren't these very specific gender roles about talking about, this is done only by him or that or anything. So I've worked longer into nights than he has at times. I've managed a lot of weekends when he was not available, etc. So I think it has worked out.
Wow.
Yeah, I think family has, I should give a lot of credit to our respective families. As she said that, I have been blessed at least that, my family only invites me to functions which are absolutely necessary for me to attend. Right? So that way, it is given that, Abhishek ne આમાં જ બોલાવીશું ને આમાં નહીં આવે તો ચાલશે. મને સામેથી જ કહી દે કે અહીંયા નહીં આવે તો ચાલશે. Right? So from that perspective, I have been really blessed. So that has definitely helped because running Digicorp was like a very, very full-time job, I must say. But at the same time, because we were highly influenced by some of the philosophies which I just mentioned, we were also very of not burning ourselves, right? Or not, for example, working on every weekend possible. Because see, at the end of the day, if you think about it, there is no end to this, right? For example, you worked on this Saturday, Sunday, next Saturday, Sunday, then what? It is never going to end if you keep working like that, right? So that way, from our earlier days of Digicorp, we have tried to make our life at least slightly more disciplined. For example, we started giving away weekends off very early in Digicorp's tenure. Probably we were like one of the very first companies in Ahmedabad who started giving a weekly off, like the entire weekend off. I'm sorry. So since then, we have been very disciplined. But you you have Saturday, Sunday off, but then it is unwritten rule that you have to come on Saturday, even though it is off. Not like that. If it is off, it is off. Then the work has to be gone. It has to go on Monday, right? So that has also helped actually, and even that is helping even today. So even when I'm running Crick Heroes, now Crick Heroes is a different venture, right? Here, if you think about it, I actually get more load on Saturday, Sunday because more cricket gets played on Saturday, Sunday, right? So definitely, I have like slightly different responsibilities now with Crick Heroes, but still I try to manage my work or my team in such a way that none of us, try to do overwork on weekends, so that on weekdays also we are not able to work as efficiently, right? So I think it's all about discipline at the end of the day.
Correct. And there are a lot of spouse entrepreneurs or potential spouse entrepreneurs who will be watching this video. And what would be your advice so that they can successfully build their businesses remaining spouse entrepreneurs? Yes.
Good luck, Abhi.
I think respect for each other, first of all, respect for each other as people, and respect for each other's work. So as Meenal said, work is life and life is work. So if you are basically if you're loving your work, actually it will not feel like work, right? So that is also extremely important. If you are grudging to go wake up on a Monday to go to office to run your own venture, then definitely there is something wrong, right? So if that is not the case, though I think then the only thing which is required in a relationship is respect for each other. If you have it, I don't think there will be a lot of issues, a lot of problems.
Meenal?
Absolutely. Yeah, I second that. Of course, respect is the baseline, and I think sharing kind of. So if both the spouses are entrepreneurs, there is so much that you can learn from each other. There is so much that you can pick each other's brain about. It's like the sounding board that you have constantly. I think just today morning while Abhi was brushing his teeth, I was asking him about a couple of questions. Why does this person want to do this? And he's like, okay, why do you? So it becomes a natural part of being and all that. And you can make the most out of it. You can kind of avoid a lot of traps and troubles that one person has faced, and you can overcome them. So yeah, share a lot, have respect for each other's work, and have each other's back. Honestly, there will be times when the other person is down and under, and when something is not right in somebody's venture or place and all that. Understand. I think that's a part of any relationship. It's not just the spouse, but you have to be sensitive towards it.
Correct. We'll do a small rapid fire. So what is that big idea, Meenal, you have for Crick Heroes? That if they do this, they will do wonders. Something which you haven't shared with Abhishek yet.
अच्छा ऐसा तो कुछ भी नहीं होगा, haven't shared वाला. But the big idea that I've been pushing him, and he's already probably started working on, is the fantasy app. So fantasy app for grassroots cricket, something that does not exist and must exist.
Wow. Abhishek, what is your big idea for Amara Ventures?
Big idea, let's say, I mean, obviously finding a unicorn, but of course, you cannot find it like that. So, but I guess if let's say somehow if Amara Ventures is able to make connections in right colleges, so if we are able to pick the right students at a very very nascent stage in their entrepreneurial journey, right? And if we are able to somehow back the winners, right, from that time, I think that can do wonders for Amara, because not only it will require like comparatively lesser capital, but the chances of getting big return at the end of it is also like much much higher.
Correct. Which is your favorite book, Abhishek?
In startup world, probably like 0 to 1. In like non-startup world, I mean, there are a lot of favorite books, but recently I'm reading, like I have read Sapiens, one of my favorite, and like again another book in startup world, like from Hard Things About Hard Things from Ben Horowitz.
Minal, which is your favorite book?
So I read multiple books at the same time, but if I had to name a few of them, I think one would be Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. It's an all-time favorite. Other than that, Sapiens, of course, Rework by Jason. Then High Output Management by Andy Grove, something that I literally have forced down the throat of everybody at the school, and we are working like this. And latest book that I'm reading right now was this How Innovation Works. Again, fell in love with the author and all. So I think, so one of the things that we do as every week, every day, I think we have a book delivered to our place. So either the kids or us, or there is one or the other book that keeps coming in. So reading and kind of upgrading ourselves is something that we constantly be doing.
Wow. And you take multiple responsibilities. Which particular activity you like the most in your venture? Yes, Minal.
Okay. Activity in my venture? Writing, building stories. So say we've invested in a few startups. Now kind of summarizing why we did that, writing memos about it, talking about it from the perspective of what was our thought process, streamlining it, crystallizing our ideas, asking questions. So that's something that I really enjoy. So.
Awesome. Abhishek, which particular activity you enjoy the most in Cricketers?
Building product. So when I say building product, obviously I don't code anymore, but editing. So for example, editing features, right? Which feature to prioritize? Then editing copies. For example, which label should have what kind of text, which button should have what kind of text, right? So even today I do that kind of micro management, at least in the product perspective, because that is the most enjoyable work I have as a founder.
And Abhishek, you mentioned about multiple pivots, like multiple ideas you experiment, but if you were not running Cricketers, what else you would have been doing? What else
I would have been doing? The other idea which I liked a lot when I started doing this in 2016 is called Readboard. I guess you know about it because I also spoke about it in one of the conferences you organized. So probably if I'm not working on Cricketers, I would have still been working on Readboard, or maybe a pivot of Readboard, but something on like similar lines.
Minal, if not Amara Ventures, what else you would have been doing?
Schools. So I'm already working with them, but something that I'm working on is a micro school. So again, that's something that we're looking at, combining students of different age groups and having them work in smaller batches, so 8-10 kids and all that. So I really want to understand how kids learn and whether they learn on their own or do they always require a teacher. They don't, but I just want to kind of build micro schools for ourselves and our children.
Correct. And which particular skill of Abhishek you would like to have? That if I have that skill, I would have done much better.
Patience, undoubtedly. Patience and the ability to stay calm in the face of a storm. That Zen position that he arrives at, which I literally at times feel like, how do you even do this? But yeah, absolutely that stoicness.
Abhishek?
Storytelling. The way like she can tell stories and she can speak about them and she can write about them. I think definitely that one skill I would like to have.
And according to you, what are the challenges that in being like spouses, being entrepreneurs, or challenges are the things that you should take care of, or sometimes we take it for granted in certain relationships. So according to you, what are the challenges and what are the things we should really take extra care for? Abhishek?
So initially, see, when we both had our different journeys, Meenal had relatively stable job, right? she was running a school, but it was an established institution. So she had relative, let's say, financial security, if I may say, right? And with Digicorp, like most of the times we had, like profitability and financial security, stability, but sometimes we didn't, right? So those times were very, very critical for us as spouses, and she was actually literally supporting the family at that time, right? During those times, even today, something like that happens. But I think one of the fundamental challenges which every couple, entrepreneurial couple, will face is financial stability. So the number one risk is if both are doing startups, and if startups are in not like early stages, right, then like having a financial stability becomes a challenge. So probably you definitely need to sort that out first before both of them venture out.
Yep.
That is
Meenal?
one. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a given that you have to have that basic stability and all that. On a lighter note, I think taking up time and having your own alone moments. So like say Abhi has weekends, every week evening he has his group of friends with whom he'll play cricket. That's his downtime. So having your own downtime, like I have my sister, so or being with her, or my family, or whatever. So having your specific downtime and kind of alone time, that's absolutely necessary. And yeah, keep time aside for Netflix and all that. Don't let the kids and others eat it. So have your own. Don't wait for something to reach a particular point to reach and then say I'll live my life, or I'll start enjoying thereafter. Somehow it just doesn't happen.
Doesn't
And
work.
honestly, even if you reach there, the days look the same. Then your challenges will also look similar, and your opportunities will also still look similar.
Correct. This is tricky, but we do it at all our meetups. We have our panelists ask questions to each other. So, Meenal, what is the question you always wanted to ask Abhishek, which you haven't asked yet?
Hi, ऐसा तो कुछ छोड़ा ही नहीं है जतिन मैंने. I have picked this man's brain to death, and
तो हमारे बेनिफिट के लिए भी कुछ बता दो.
अभी આપણે billionaire ક્યારે થઈશું? So maybe
Abhishek,
Dennis Craig
So I
was
was
starting a
coming,
unicorn.
like, Abhishek suggested that हमारा venture should find a unicorn. Like, so Meenal is telling, make Krieg Heroes a unicorn.
So yeah, my one overarching question is that so I have vested interest in Crick Heroes becoming a unicorn, right? In multiple ways.
आने क्या कुहाड़ी पर पग मारे हो?
Yes, Abhishek. What is your answer?
Yeah, I'm trying my best, Meenal. Have faith in me.
Fantasy F could get you there, huh? Because
Yes, yes.
कहूँ क्या नहीं कहूँ के पहला answer.
And Abhishek, your question for Meenal.
Very difficult. Meenal, what can I ask you? मारा तमने पूछो ऊपर से.
Something you always wanted to ask, but never asked.
Yeah, something I always wanted to ask.
Jadin,
No, this is important because this helps me
Yeah.
increase my
So,
question.
could we have had a, let's say, okay, so let me go back till like 2003. So at that time I was in Patni and she was at abroad in UK. So we had a like alternate future also, where I moved to UK, right? I also tried to find some colleges and all, but I couldn't. I mean, it didn't go through. So do you ever think that we could have had an alternate future if not India?
in the UK, no, but in the Valley, yes. I think we would have, if we had moved to the US or if we had moved there, absolutely we would have had a hand.
Would you have like enjoyed the life there as much as you are doing right now?
That's so difficult to tell, but yeah, I would have enjoyed life with you everywhere.
Oh, very good answer. Awesome. So, in a way, we covered a lot of ground with the questions that we. But sometimes a lot of our programs and everything is geared towards scaling. So, Meenal, in your journey building the education institutions and Amara Ventures, what are those one or two critical moments that that put you in a very different path, and some of the choices you made that I made these choices, that's why it became really well. What was key moments for you?
So the education institutions are very physical realm institutions, right? So one of the choice we made was to set up a school which was far and away in the suburbs of the city. So when the city grew, in many ways, it helped us scale up much faster. But that was a natural thing. That wasn't something that we influenced. One thing that we influenced to scale up was this idea of starting my own video blog called Musings of a Masterly. So with that, when I began to kind of share ideas about what is it to be in a school, what are the problems, challenges, and what are the experiences that I come across. Once I started sharing that, I saw a lot of resonance coming back at me. And it definitely put us on a different trajectory. So I believe sharing, talking, and even the trivial things that seem very generic to you in your industry might be of interest to your customers or to outsiders. So kind of being a thought leader helps. At least attempting to it helps.
Correct. Abhishek, starting Creek Heroes was that key decision. But what are the key things that worked out really well for Creek Heroes?
I think fundamentally, one thing definitely has worked out well for Digicorp and Creek Heroes both is having a very, very solid team, right? So when we started Digicorp, obviously we were like very young and very new to the in all of this, but a few key decisions helped us a lot. For example, we always wanted to build a company which we would like to work for, right, as developers. So with that thought in mind, whatever decision which came to our way, we always took the decision from that perspective, whether if we were working for this company, what we would have done, right, or what we would have liked our bosses to do. So from that perspective, we always made such decisions, and which was like kind of people friendly and always helped, right? So that is the same philosophy I'm taking ahead in Creek Heroes, and I have a extremely talented team and a very gel team actually, right? Even before talent, I would put the cohesiveness of the team, which I have. So that is one thing. And second is because India is a vast country, if you are coming up with any idea which has a power to influence a lot of people, right? So for example, Creek Heroes is an idea which has a power to influence a lot of people who are interested in cricket or who are playing cricket. Similarly, any idea, any B2C idea which can influence a lot of people in any area, I think that automatically has a scale by default, right? And the technology has made it possible to solve the problems in a very, very capital efficient way.
Correct.
So yeah, by default, choosing such ideas gives you a scale.
And we are towards the last part of this conversation. So just assuming that you are at a college where the college allows only couple entrepreneurs to be as a student, and now there is a convocation, and you are invited as a chief guest, but you have only one line as your convocation speech. So just one line as your convocation speech for that audience. So Abhishek, what would be your one line convocation speech for couple entrepreneurs?
Sure, I always say this. I'll say it again. Just do it.
Wow. No same answer, different answer.
Definitely.
What is your one-line convocation speech?
Okay, so I'll come to the convocation speech wala later, but never ever go on a talk show where the host doesn't, where you are going to be asked questions that the host has not asked you and spoken about earlier. This wasn't a part of the email that you sent. Okay, what would be that one line that I would share at that moment? Okay, just do it is already done. So don't let one be the sacrifice for another. So don't let your venture be sacrificed for your relationship, and don't sacrifice your relationship for the venture. So
wow.
It's not worth it. Either or is not worth it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Meenal and Abhishek, for a wonderful discussion. And I'll do some little better editing, so the video will come out really well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jatin. Yeah, and I hope this spouse series of yours goes well.
Yes, I'm also very hopeful about that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.